Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to look at some color combinations. I thought it would be kind of fun to play around with some maybe not so obvious color combinations. So I was kind of putting together some Christmas cards, and I was using the Snowy Wonder bundle, and there's some designer paper, this particular suite, that had some just really different color combinations. So it kind of made me thought, let's play around with some uh, different color combinations, I guess, for Christmas. So these are like non-traditional colors. And what I thought I would do is just kind of show you just how to use this color coach. So we'll go through that, but these are the cards that I want to share with you today. So they feature the Snowy Wonder bundle. So let me grab that here. This is what the bundle looks like. So this is the stamp set. These are all the different images in the stamp set. And then there are a variety of different dies in this particular set that you can use actually to cut out some of the images from the designer paper. And then, of course, to cut out the images that are in this particular bundle. So I used actually the designer paper. I used all the little snowmen that were in the designer paper. I just cut those out with one of the dies that are in this particular set. So what we're going to do is focus on these two different color combinations. So before we get started, I want to show you this color wheel. So good morning, everyone. So before I walk you through some of the projects, if you guys haven't seen this color coach, this is a fabulous tool. So if you have difficulties coming up with different color combinations, this tool will just really help you tremendously. So Stampin' Up! Has this little wheel here that you can turn and come up with different color combinations. So the ones we're focusing on today are monochromatic. And so this would be the monochromatic. So it's different shades of the same kind of color group. So you can kind of pick a color, like for example, if you pick petal pink, then you just use this monochromatic side of the color wheel, and you can kind of go along here and see which different shades of that particular color would go with your project. So you can use all of these shades together. So I don't know if you can see all four of those there. So for the designer paper, they used petal pink. There's some calypso in there. And if you scoot over the color wheel a little bit more, you get some pumpkin pie. So that's basically what they used in here. This is pumpkin pie. And then there's some petal pink and some calypso. So that's kind of the monochromatic. You can go anywhere on this color wheel and kind of get different shades that you can use together. So that's kind of just a fun way to come up with different color combinations. And then the other one is what we're going to put together. I actually have two cards I'm going to share. Is this complementary colors? So complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel or the color spectrum. So if you look at these colors, we have petal pink and we have some pumpkin, and then we have this Coastal Cabana. So notice on this color wheel, we have, two little windows here that are opposite each other. So these colors over here coordinate or complement these colors over here. So if we turn our color wheel to like this pumpkin pie and petal pink and calypso, then you get some colors that are on the opposite side that would complement those colors. So that's what I'm using today for these cards. So I'm using Coastal Cabana, and it complements with that petal pink and calypso and pumpkin. So if you haven't played around with this color coach, it really is a fabulous tool. I did link to it in the description with this video, so you can go check it out. But on the back of this color wheel, it tells you what all these different color combinations are. So there's analogous. We're going to focus on monochromatic and complementary, but there's triadic and analogous color combinations that you can use as well. And this color wheel just helps you pick out those color combinations. So these are colors that I wouldn't have necessarily put together. But once I created something with this color combination, I was like, wow, I really like those color combinations together. I like the blue, that little, that little bit of the Coastal Cabana. All right, so these are the monochromatic ones. I'm going to set these aside for the moment. And we're going to focus on these. So I actually put together 4 different cards. So there's 4 different layouts. I'll walk you through 2 of the layouts, and two of the other layouts are layouts that I've shared before. So I'll kind of show you that. So I'm going to set these aside. And these 2 are the ones that we're going to create today. So aren't they cute? So they basically, one of them uses up scraps, and then the other one, well, kind of uses up scraps, I guess. So let's focus on this one first. So I'm using white for all of my card bases. And then I just used the design paper. I just created a bunch of different layers that I wanted to put together to, create that complementary look. So we're going to start out with a 1.5 by 4 3/4 inch piece of designer paper. So this is just going to go right down the center. Now this particular paper actually is not part of the Snowman Suite, the Snowy Scenes designer paper. This actually comes from the Nests of Winter. So you can mix and match your designer papers too to create, some fun little color combinations. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create this little banner down on the bottom. And I showed you before in a previous video that you can actually create this banner pretty easily. So you're just going to kind of fold this, don't crease it, but just fold this a little bit, line up the 2 points, the ends of the paper, and then just make the cut from, about here to the ends. And when you open it up, you have a nice little banner. So it's just a easier way to create a banner without trying to cut up the center and then cut the 2 sides. So as long as you don't fold your paper in half, because otherwise you'll end up with a little crease. So we're going to add this piece first. Let's move this out of the way here. This is just going to go right down the center. And then we're going to add some other pieces here. So I have a 3.5 by 2 3/4 inch piece. So this is a little busier piece. So 3.5 by 2 3/4. And then I have a 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So these pieces are just going to go together like that. So I'm going to adhere actually this piece first, and then we'll adhere the whole thing, maybe. So let's put this on here. We're just overlapping those 2, and then we'll put this on. So it's a pretty simple layout. You can use this with any pattern papers that you have. And then we'll add that. So notice how that just little pop of blue just kind of changes the whole look of the card. I'm going to just move this over for a second so we can stamp some stuff here. I am going to stamp a greeting as soon as I find my ink. Let's see. So I'm going to stamp it with the Coastal Cabana. And we're just going to do a little season's greetings. Oh, that one didn't quite work out the way I wanted it. I think I have to re-ink my pad. So we'll just flip it over. See if we can get it right this time. Hopefully. Well, that's better. All right. So this piece is just 2 3/4 inches long. So it's going to go right here on our card. But I'm just going to tear the top. So you just want to make it a little bit bigger. I think was this 1.5? So this was 1.5 by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to tear this just to kind of create like the illusion of snow, I guess. And we'll add some dimensionals. See, you guys, there's 2 sides to each piece of paper for a reason. You get 2 chances. 2 chances to get this done. So let's add this on the bottom here. And then we'll just add our little snowman. And this little snowman, I just cut from the designer paper. You could also stamp it too. So, but I just wanted to cut that out of the paper. And that's basically the card. And then I embellished it with these little loose snowflakes. So they're very tiny. So this is a little bit tricky, but I'll show you a little trick on how I did this. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's see. So we have to grab some snowflakes here. Let's grab a large one and a small one. And then we'll grab another large one. Let's see. Maybe I should bring that back so the light doesn't get too weird here. Okay, so basically this is where I want to put my snowflakes. And so what I'm going to do is just scoot these over a little bit, and I'm going to add a little drop of glue. Hopefully it'll be little. There's one. Oop, that one got to be a little too big. And then I'm going to take my little tool here, this little take a pick tool, and I'm going to add my snowflakes right over those little dots that I put on there. So this is just a way that I kind of came up with to try to add these little tiny pieces, because I'm not very coordinated to be able to just do it with my finger. So that's all you have to do is just add little dots of glue and then pick up the snowflakes and set those snowflakes on there. So it creates just a really cute card. All right, so I'm going to set this one to the side so it dries. And then we'll do the next one. So this next one just uses scrap pieces of paper. So these little pieces are 3/4 inches wide and they're 3.5 inches long. So this is the one we're going to put together next. And let me get all these pieces here. So I used 2 different patterns from that Snowy Scenes Designer Series paper pack. And then these 2 pieces are from the other Designer Series paper, the one with the birds, the Nests of Winter. So I combined the 2 to come up with this color combination. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to take 3 pieces on each side and we're going to adhere them kind of on an angle a little bit. These 2 are going to get adhered on an angle, and then this one will get adhered straight. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll angle one, and then we'll angle the second one, and then this one will get adhered straight. And so that's how we're going to create this little look here. So again, these pieces are 3.25 inches, 3/4, not 3 1/4, 3/4, 3/4 by 3.5. So this is just a fun way to use up your scrap papers. Like I said, I like to use up my scraps right away. So as I'm creating and making scraps, I try to use them up and make a card with them. Kind of like playing around with these scraps is like putting together a puzzle. You just kind of lay them out on your card base and try to come up with a design that that looks pretty neat. So that's what I do. I just kind of play around with the different pieces that I have until I come up with a design um, that I like. So, all right, let's put the blue one in here. This one's going to go on an angle. And then this one is going to go straighter. So you got two angled pieces and then you have a straight one. And then that gives you an ability to add a piece down the center, which my piece is 2 by 3.5. So this is 2 by 3.5, and I embossed it with the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. So we'll just add this. And this is just going to go right in the center. And then I just have a 2 inches. This is 2 inches. It's the same as this one, 2-inch wide. And then it's a 1.5 inches, 2 by 1.5. Oy, I should go back to that. Okay, so we're gonna put a little greeting on this one too. So let's see if I can get some ink off here. I'm gonna have to re-ink this. Let's practice on a little scrap piece. I got a little scrap piece paper. Let's see if that works. Oh, it's a good thing I practiced on that scrap piece. We'll just keep doing this till we get a good one. There we go. Now hopefully we can transfer that over here. That looks good. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to tear this little top part off. So I always stamp the greeting first and then do the paper tearing over the top like that. So we will add this. Yeah, I would have never put the pumpkin pie in here either. But it does look really neat together. But that would not have been my first choice, is to put pumpkin pie, to put an orange, a pink, and a blue together. I just wouldn't have thought about that. But it is a really neat color combination. All right, let's add our little snowman. And then we have our little card here. So cute. All right, so let me show you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the other ones look like. So let me just organize these here. And that's that one. That's that. I'm going to just grab the other ones so that you can see the difference. Because I took all the layouts, basically. I took all these different layouts and I created one in the monochromatic and then I created one in the complementary, just so that you could see the difference between the two. So this one is very pretty too, just in the pinks and, kind of the orangish color. And then this one has just that little pop of blue in it. So there's one. And then I have these two. So these are the ones that I just created. So the little pop of blue, let's do it this way. Little pop of blue, and then this one is the monochromatic. So they're both the same design. And then these two, so you just get a really different look, from just changing out the color scheme. So I guess my point is you can use these layouts over and over, like I tell you, with different supplies. You just change out the color combinations and you get just a really different look on the card. And then these two are the last two. So I created 8 cards, but they're some are with the complementary colors and some are with the monochromatic. Now these last 2 cards here, so let's see what would be the best way to do this. So these two cards right here might look familiar to you because I did a video not too long ago with this particular layout. So this is obviously an autumn themed card, but it's the exact same layout. It's just I changed the colors and I changed the theme. So you can see that, these two cards all have, or actually these three cards all have the same layout. All right, so that's one. And then this one, I also did a video on this one before, and this is the same layout as this. So one is a fall theme and one is a Christmas theme, but it's the same layout that you can use over and over again just to create cards for different occasions. So, all right, you guys. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to kind of share some different color combinations with you. And I wanted to share that color wheel because I just think that the color wheel is just a fabulous tool, especially if you are challenged with, you know, matching up colors together. This color coach is just super nice. I just love the ability of this to just you can just scoot this around on the color wheel and just find different color combinations that you wouldn't normally use. Like I said, I wouldn't normally use some of these color combinations, but when you actually play around with them, they're very pretty and they're just very different. So I hope you guys enjoyed these card ideas, and I hope you just kind of enjoyed this little lesson on using the color wheel or this color coach in choosing your color combinations. So you can find the link to the color coach. I did provide that with the description with this video, and I also provided the link to the Snowy Wonder suite if you wanted to take a look at that as well. All right, so I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great week, and I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody.